Hi there, friends. Prajna here, and this is my channel. Prajnaohara.com is my website. And I'm just so delighted to get on today to speak to you. Last week, I talked about rest, and today we're going to talk about rest and spontaneity. Now, I don't know what has happened, but ever since I went into this deep resting, unwinding, that happened and informed me about the necessity of napping and of the rest nest. I've been dreaming about it and I've been waking up so refreshed. So I was in a conversation with somebody yesterday and they were asking me, well, how does that happen? And then I just stopped and I can even right now like stop for a minute and think about it. How does unwinding happen? Oh, that's right. You can't think it. You can't think it to happen. It's like when we come out of this mechanical, ingrained mechanism, conditioning, habit body of pushing to fix something, change something, make something different happen. And all of the energy for years and years and years that has organized how our brain works, and it's in our cellular memory, and it's a trauma response. It's a trying to navigate something difficult and not really perhaps feeling it. But I don't want to even say the word trauma. So let's back up with that, because as soon as I start to talk about trauma, which I do a lot, is then we start to get into this idea of even more to do to heal the trauma. And this big piece that happened for me was a healing. There was something really deep in my shoulder that connected in behind my breast. And even for a moment, I got concerned about it. But it was in the unwinding, in the unfurling, in the actuality of not trying to change it, not fix it. I remember just putting my hand here and having a very tender conversation with this part of my body and listening for what it needed. And it just did it for itself. Our bodies are so intelligent. It's like if we can let the business of the mind, the habit of the mind, the habits of how we in our culture are so marketed to constantly in all of our feeds are coming all the time. Do, push. One more of this, one more of that. And the marketplace is just filled with so many ideas. And it's very easy to jump on that next thing. But here we jump off, jump off, jump off. And what I often tell myself is I'm really bad for my own business because I think I'm doing a really good job when people no longer need me, that I can give so much guidance and so much assistance. And then, yeah, it's like, yeah, we all need a bit of support at the back sometimes, a little hand holding, uh, some guidance, some tools, and collect all the resources. And we might need also later to check in at different times with somebody that we feel safe with and that we trust. But we don't have to constantly be in therapy, for the rest of our lives. It's just not like that. Growth happens in a multiplicity of ways. I'm excited because I'm getting ready to go to Europe for 2 weeks and I get to be fully engaged in my passion, which is facilitating sacred circles, a retreat. And it is a healing retreat. Healing will happen, but it isn't happening because I or anybody else are forcing it to happen. And I'll also have other meetings around Totnes. So I'm going to be in Wales and in Totnes, and this is super exciting. And then when I come back later, I'll be in Vermont and then in Germany. And even right now, as we speak, there's construction's been going on here around my house for quite some time, but we're rebuilding our little sanctuary in the back. Not by choice, kind of by code compliance, but that's happening. So there's been lots and lots going on. And I've been rewriting and revising and re-editing and revising my book, which is gonna be amazing, I hope. So that's all coming. So I say that because I've been since the pandemic for many people, there's kind of been an undercurrent of buzz, just in my body, buzzing. And so when this happened in my torso, I thought, that was probably why. And maybe because I was really on, with needing to do many things. Sometimes we don't have a choice. But I hope I'm not missing the other thing. I think I shifted gears for a moment, but the other thing I was going to say about the other part of healing is that it isn't, you know, just like we don't volunteer to be wounded. There isn't like a conscious choice to show up for abuse or to show up for neglect or abandonment, all the different things that can happen throughout a person's life, especially in childhood, or to even witness abuse, conflict, trauma, or to not many people that I know, I mean, are kind of perhaps trained to even sign up for the army, the navy, and that kind of thing to serve the country. And that is never like a voluntary, independent decision that one person makes all alone by themselves. It's like there's a multiplicity of influences going on all the time. So, in our healing journeys, in our unfoldment, there's also many aspects of that. One aspect is the community. There's the dynamic, the group dynamic, the safety of the community, the witnessing of each other, the coming out of isolation or aloneness, to see that in the human experience. All of these different challenges, hardships, celebrations go on all across the board, regardless of gender, color, sexual orientation, any of it. We're all part of this one big human family that doesn't voluntarily show up to be wounded. But wounding happens and healing happens. But it doesn't happen by pushing and forcing. So I think like what I'm really the nutshell of this is and the invitation to continue to allow yourself to unfurl, listen in gently to those places inside that are calling for your attention. Wherever that might be, maybe it's in the belly, in the back, maybe it's in the head, and just like take some time to just lean back into yourself, lean back into the intelligence of your own body. And it doesn't have to be like a formal kind of meditation practice where you're then once again holding yourself in a posture that might not work for your body, may not work for a deeper kind of listening that can happen inside. So whatever, I mean, wisdom is about what works. Yeah. It's about listening to, for you, what works for you to unwind in the constructs of the mind, which are, we have so many constructs and concepts that each person is going to interpret differently, is why it makes communication tricky sometimes. But you let that unfurl, unravel so that you can listen for what's here. Now, right now, it's just me and you on the screen. I can't see you. Obviously, you can see me. Or maybe you have your eyes closed and you're just listening, or maybe you have a certain kind of disability, which I'm gonna get more to that at another time because I have daughters with disabilities. And I do in the home, we're very inclusive, and I'm very conscious of the need for inclusivity. But I want to be able to do that more with my online presentations. I have a little bit of an idea of that. But anyways, oh, I forgot totally what I was saying. But isn't it great? Like when you just start to relax more, there's more levity, there's more spontaneity, there's lightness, there's humor, there's like, I don't really care so much about certain things that I thought mattered at one time. And life gets lighter. Yeah. And you just relax into yourself. So keep listening and paying attention. I woke up this morning and it just keeps imploding in different ways. The rest nest, the rest nest. So we're going to see what becomes of that. You have all these wonderful images, and, what is imagining itself? What's re envisioning itself? What's creating itself? What's birthing itself? And that gets to feel very authentic when it comes from you, not something that we're imitating or trying to follow from out here. It's always better when we follow from the inside and we let ourselves learn, by falling down and getting up again. That's how we carve out our own dharma, so to speak, our own path. We can't really learn from others to the degree we can from ourselves because we don't get to always see what their mistakes are, right? Especially in in these kinds of public presentations where you're not really seeing behind the scenes, like what it takes for a person to just show up. And I'm sure there's always a lot going on for everybody behind the scenes. And that's kind of one of the challenges of, this new craft that I'm developing as a writer. I spend a lot of time alone writing. And I mean, I can read some amazing books. Like I'm so inspired by reading other people's memoirs, but I'm not seeing what it took for them to do that. Like, what kind of emotional challenge or download or processing happened all along the way, how many revisions it took. There's so much that goes into writing a book, so we don't see that. But when you come on retreat and join in a circle, in the different circles that I do, we get to see the full package of what's involved in being human and the healing, if there is healing, or the seeing, the learning, the evolution, the transformation. It increases megafold. Like there's studies that say when people come together to do an important piece of work, that the healing or the learning increases by 50%, at least. And I'd say even more. And there's a lot of reasons for that, most that I've already spoken about. Um, Primarily coming out of isolation, the sense of I'm in it alone. And so many people feel this way. It's more common than you think. So I'm excited for the upcoming retreat. So if you get to be one of those participants this time, I'll see you very soon. And if you want to attend in the future, just go to my website. I'm sorry, I'm feeling my garlic. www.prajnaohara.com. This is my channel. If you like it, please like, share, comment. I love your comments. It's so great to hear from you. Have a beautiful, beautiful blooming springtime. Bye for now.